Hey, what's up users? This is John from Muse for You, here to help you build awesome websites without code. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to go over the double reveal menu widget found at museforyoushop.com. So here I have the menu, and here's the menu button, and if I click on it, we can see we have this interesting double reveal effect when you open and close the menu. So I'll close, and we can see we have one reveal and then another reveal, and it reveals the menu. So it's a really interesting menu, and I think it could add a lot of interest and kind of a nice visual effect to your website. And it's very simple to add as well to Adobe Muse. So here as well, if you hover over the close button, it rotates, and you can have the open button rotate as well. So if I go to section 1, and we can see the menu closes when you click on the menu item, we can go to section 2, and section 3, and section 4, and section 5. So you can link to internal pages, external pages, and anchor points in Adobe Muse. And if you didn't want the menu to close when linking to anchor points, that's also an option within the widget. And you can set the reveal from left to right, top to bottom, right to left, or bottom to top. So if I click on top to bottom, we can see that the menu reveals from the top to the bottom, and the same when it closes, or it closes from top to bottom. And then here we have right to left, and then we have bottom to top. So it's a really nice effect, and having the close button rotate as well is very nice there. All right, so I'll go to section 4. Or different sections on the website. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to show how to access this widget and how to use it in Adobe Muse. So to access this widget, you simply go to, if I can spell it here, museforyoushop.com. And here you can click on the pop-up, and here you can click subscribe to get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. Or if you'd like to subscribe with PayPal, you can click here and subscribe with PayPal. The double reveal menu widget is right here, and here you can click add to cart to purchase individually, or again you can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. Here are the features included, a few of the widget options, and the preview page that I just went over in the beginning here. And I've used a fixed width breakpoints for this preview website. That's why we're able to see these nice scroll effects here where the image stays in place, and as you scroll, the image stays in place and you can scroll through the website, and then we have the menu. All right, and if you also noticed, I didn't mention this, but you can have a different image for the hover button. So these are actually two images. One is dark blue and one is light blue, and you can kind of change that and get creative with the button here. All right, so I'll go ahead and showcase how to use the widget. So I'll open up Adobe Muse. I have a new site, and if you wanted to create a new site, you could go to File, New Site to create a new web page or a new website, and then I'll go to the library panel. If you don't see the library panel, it's right here, the library panel. If you don't see this panel, you can go to Window and click on Library, and here I'll just type in double reveal. And here I have double reveal menu on the left, or I can also place it on the right. So I'm gonna click, hold, and drag the double reveal menu. Actually, I'm gonna have it on the right. I'm gonna click, hold, and drag double reveal menu on right. And there we have it. So at first, it's just this little 50 by 50 box, and it has an exclamation point. Don't worry, it is working. You just have to add an image or an open button image so that the open button image appears here. So I'm going to go ahead and open the widget options. We have the options, the sections menu, so we can set the menu width, reveal direction, we can say left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top, and we can close the menu on menu item click. So when you click on a link, the menu will close, or we can close the menu on menu click. So if you click anywhere on the menu will close. We have the open button, we have the open transition, so you can set the colors and the easing and the duration. We have the close button, so you can add a custom close button, and you can position it on the left or the right, the close button. You can enable rotate on hover and just work with the easing there and the duration of the rotation. We have the close transition, so you can select the color of the close transition and the easing, as well as the duration. The link styling, I'll go over all of this. We have the menu items, so you can add up to 12 menu items to the menu. And you can set the anchor point scrolling, so you can have easing for the anchor point scrolling to make it more kind of interesting as the user is scrolling through the website. And then we have linking more info to showcase how to link internal pages, external pages, and anchor points. And I'll go over that in this video tutorial. So for the menu width, I'll leave it just like that. For the reveal direction, we'll say left to right. And I do want to close the menu on menu item click. So I'll go to the open button. Here we see it says open button width and height. 50 by 50 is good. I'll leave it like that, and then select open button image. So here I'll click on add file. And in the widgets folder, when you unzip the zip file, you'll get a widgets folder. And in that folder, there's a folder called icons, and you'll have these 4 icons. So there's, example open buttons and example close buttons. You can use these for your website. They're usable for your website. So I'm gonna click on the open icon here, open icon 1. And then I'm going to click on enable on hover image, and I'll click add file, and I'll select this blue icon here, this blue open button. I don't want the open button to rotate on hover, so I'll just leave this alone for now. And then the open transition, and just for fun, I'll go to my CC libraries and we'll get some colors from there. Okay, so I've added the colors to the swatches panel. So now I'll go to the open transition, and for the first reveal color, we'll set it to, let's say, this pink. And then we'll say this yellow here. The open transition duration, we'll leave it at 400 milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds equals 1 second. So this is 0.4 seconds, or 400 milliseconds. And then for the open transition easing, we'll leave it at ease in out cubic just to see how it looks. And already we can see the menu. So I'll go to file, preview page in browser. And there we have the menu button. So at first it's the dark blue, and then I hover and we have the light blue. So I'll click, and then we have the colors. We don't see a close button because we haven't added a close button yet. So I'll go into the widget, and I'll go to the close button section. I'll click on add file, and I'll select the close icon light here. You can also change the width and the height of the icon as well, and you can change the position of the icon on the left or the right. I do want it to rotate, so enable rotate on hover is checked. Rotation 360 degrees, which is a full circle. The rotation duration is going to be at 1 second. You can change this. I find 1 second works well. And then you can change the rotation easing here. You can choose between over 30 different easing options for the easing. So now I'll go to file, preview page in browser, open the menu, and there we have that rotating close button. Looks good. All right, so let's go to the closing transition here. So here I'll change the color to, let's say, this dark blue, and that's all I have to do there. I can change the easing, but I'll preview again, open the menu, and then if I close, we have that dark blue for the closing transition. Okay, and then we have the link styling. So for the link styling, you can change the font size, and you're gonna notice this this measurement here called VH, and I've actually placed within the widget options what that means. It's kind of a new measurement that I introduced in this widget, and it's kind of hinting towards responsive fonts and responsive text in Adobe Muse. So 1 VW equals 1% of viewport width, or the width of the browser, and 1 VH equals 1% of the viewport height, or the height of the browser. So that's in here. So you'll see these here for the link font size. It'll actually change as the browser height changes, and this is for smaller browsers and smaller devices. So the font will get smaller as the height of the device or the browser gets smaller. And I'll actually show that. So the link font size is actually 3.5% of the browser height. So if I go to file, preview page in browser, I'll open the menu, and as I make the browser height smaller, we can see that font gets smaller to accommodate smaller devices, so you don't have this huge text on devices that are a bit smaller. So I'll go ahead back in here and link styling. I'll leave the font size at 3.5 VH. You can also change the alignment of the menu items. If you were to say center, or let me do center, you'd want to make sure that the padding left and the padding right is set to 0. Padding left and padding right is so you can adjust the menu items from the left side or the right side of the menu if you wanted to get really detailed with the position of the menu items. Okay, so there we have them on the left, and there's no padding on the left or the right, so it's perfectly centered down the middle of the menu. All right, so let's see, link styling. So we went over link align. Link font weight is just how bold or how light you want the font to be. Anything less than 400 is lighter, 400 is normal, and anything greater than 400 is bolder there. So letter spacing is tracking, so it's kind of adding more space between the letters. If I set it to 5 pixels, we're going to see that the menu items, there's more spacing between the letters. And we can go ahead and change the font for the menu. To change the font, you just click on the widget here on the open button here, and then you can go to the built-in text option in Adobe Muse, which is right up here, or you can open the text panel, which I think I have here, right up here. So the text panel as well. And then here you can just select any web font. It has to be a web font and not a system font. So I'll select Lotto, and let's see how that looks. And just like that, we have a different font. And let me bring in the font smoother for a bit smoother fonts there. So font smoother. I'll bring in the font smoother light just to make it a bit nicer. Okay. So let's go back into the link styling right in here. Letter spacing, leading is kind of the spacing between menu items. So right now it's 5 VH. If I set 10, we're gonna have more spacing in between the menu items. Just like that, we can see there's more space, and because it's in VH, the spacing is gonna get smaller as the height gets smaller, the browser height gets smaller. All right, so it's kind of responsive height with the menu items. Okay, and then so link styling, yeah, we'll leave it at 10. That looked kind of nice. Padding left, padding right, I kind of went over that. Let's say I were to add 10, we're going to notice that the menu items are not perfectly centered because we have the link align centered, but then we added padding 10 VH from the left. So let's preview that in the browser. We open, and we can see the menu items are more to the right now because there's padding on the left. Okay, so you can do padding on the right or padding on the left. And for instance, if I were to say 0 for all the padding and I were to align to the left, the menu will stick all the way to the left of the menu, which wouldn't look too great. As we can see, it's like all the way like flush to the left of the menu. Okay, and let me change the open transition color here so it's a bit easier to see. And the close transition, I'll just change the color to yellow. So that font is a little bit easier to see as I'm kind of showcasing this here. So I'll go ahead and take off or align the links to the center again. And then another option here is link decoration on hover. You can do underline, line through, or overline. If you notice, if we go to the browser, when I hover over the menu items, there's a line that goes through it. And it's just an interesting decoration that you can add to the links as you're hovering over them. I can also say overline, which is another kind of interesting effect. So you can see there a line appears over the menu items when I select overline, or I can select underline. Okay, open the menu, and there's an underline when I hover over the text here. All right, looks good. So I'll go ahead and keep working with the links. So there's also a breakpoint, and you can change the font size, the letter spacing, and the line height of the menu items at a specific breakpoint. So let's say for mobile, you actually wanted maybe bigger fonts or smaller fonts. Let's say at the 480 breakpoint, I want to change the font size to 5. So we're going to notice the font gets bigger, and the tracking I'll set to 5 as well. Here I'll set the tracking to 1. The line height, we'll leave it at 5, and we're going to see that the menu items change when we reach that 480 breakpoint. So there's the 480 breakpoint, and we can see the menu items look different. So there you can style it. Let's say for mobile, you wanted the menu items to look a little bit different. You could do that by setting the breakpoint and then changing the font size, letter spacing, and line height of the menu items. And again, it's in, oops, I kind of zoomed in. Again, it's in VH. So as I resize the browser, those menu items change as well as I resize the browser height. All right, looks good. So let's see what else. Here we have link styling. Those are the link styling options, and you can change the link color and the link cover color as well here at the top. All right, so then we'll go to menu items. So you can select the amount of menu items. So you can select from 1 through 12. If I select, let's say 8, we're gonna see 8 menu items. So now I have 8. And here, as we can see, the menu items go kind of past the browser, which doesn't look great. So what I would do there is just change the font size and the spacing. So the line height, I'm just gonna say 5, and that should do it. It just had too much line height. And there we go. So now we have 8 menu items. So you can play around with that. When you have more menu items, you'd either want smaller font sizes or smaller line height. The smaller line height works really well here. And line height is just kind of the spacing between the menu items. All right, looks good. So let's see, menu items. So for that menu item text, you can just change the text. You can enter an anchor point. If you were linking to an internal page, it would be // in the name of the page. If the name of the page is about us, for example, you would type in / about and then a dash us.html. For spaces, you want a dash instead of a space. There, you don't want any spaces here. For anchor points, it's just hashtag and the name of the anchor. So I'll say anchor home, and then here I'll just create an anchor in Adobe Muse. Here we have the anchor tool. So I'll click the anchor and I'll place it at the top. I'll call it home, and I'll just center it there. And then I'll just create a kind of a text or a rectangle here and just place it down within the website. And we'll put it right there. I'll create another anchor and I'll call this anchor 1. Okay. Just like that. It's called anchor 1. So we have, let me zoom in here. We have anchor 1 and we have the home anchor up here. So yeah, so let me do this. Menu items, home, and then we'll set this anchor 1. We'll just call this section 1. And you can open the link in a new page or in a new tab, or open in the same page by selecting this option here, open link in new page. So now I'll go ahead and preview in the browser, and let's make this a bit wider, and I'll click the menu button. If I click on section 1, it brings us to this section with the anchor point scrolling. We notice that the menu button here, this menu button, when I go to section 1, that menu button is no longer there. So what we want to do is pin it to the upper right, so that menu button always stays on the website no matter where the user navigates on the web page. So here I'll click on the menu button, and here is the Adobe Muse pin options. So I want to pin it to the upper right here by selecting this here. This option here is for responsive design. You can either pin elements in the middle, or the left, the middle, or the right. So as the browser resizes, that element will stay kind of either in this to the left, to the center, or in the right of the site. And I might make a video tutorial on these responsive options here. But for this element, we want to use the pin options in Adobe Muse, and I want to pin it to the upper right so it stays fixed on the website. So we can see I'm scrolling and that button stays fixed right there. So if I click and I go to section 1, that menu button will always be there, and I can go back to the top or go to section 1, just like that with anchor points. And I can set the anchor point easing, so I can do something like ease out elastic, which might look kind of interesting. So we see it bounces just like that. Kind of an interesting effect there. All right, looks good. So now I'll just kind of play with the menu a bit and kind of have fun with it. Those are all the widget options, and linking more info here as well, if you wanted to kind of see the linking options here within the widget. or how to link, to internal pages, external pages, and anchor points. So here in the reveal direction, I can do right to left, and let's see how that looks. So it reveals from the right to the left, and the options are the same, and it closes from the right to the left as well. And we can do top to bottom. So it goes from the top to the bottom, and same when it closes. And we can do bottom to top. There we go, opens from the bottom to the top. If we didn't want the menu to close when clicking on the menu items, you can just uncheck close menu on menu item click. And then we'll click. And if I go to section 1, we can see the menu stays opened. And we actually don't want it to be black or dark blue there. So for the open transition, I'm gonna say light blue here. Yeah, because our close button is dark blue, so we're not seeing that close button. There it is. All right, looks good. Section 1. Okay. Open transition, we'll do green. Or, yeah, just green there. Some of the colors are kind of, yeah, there we go. Okay, looks good. All right. So there's the menu, and we can have fun with the easing options as well. So for the open transition, I can say ease out elastic, and for the close transition as well, I could say here, close transition, ease out elastic here. And it'll have kind of an elastic opening reveal. All right, looks interesting. I can give more timing so we can see that elasticity a bit better. So let's do 1 second, so I'll say 1000. Close transition, I'll say 1000 as well. Okay, kind of, let me do ease in out elastic. I think we'll see that a bit better, because right now it's just ease out elastic, so we see a little bounce at the end. So we'll do ease in out elastic, so we see a bounce in the beginning and then a bounce at the end as well. Yeah, very cool. So let me do left to right as well. Change it back to left to right. There we go. So we have kind of this interesting bouncing effect as the menu opens. Looks good. All right, so I think that's all the options in the widget. I do want it to close on menu item click. So when I click on the menu item, it closes. Looks good. And I can also do close menu on menu click. So when I click on the menu, it closes as well. So I can click anywhere on the menu. And I zoomed in accidentally. All right, we can see it closes. I can go to the menu item and it closes as well. Okay, so I think that's all the options within the widget. It's a really fun menu. You can change the width of the menu as well. So if I change the width to 500, and let me just close the menu on menu item click there. So we can see we have a really wide menu there. Looks good. All right, and we can have the menu on the left as well. So if I go to my library panel and I say double reveal, I can put it on the left as well. Let me just add an open and close button. And I'll place it at the left. I'll pin it to the upper left this time. And I'll preview, click, and there we have it on the left. And we can change the position of the close button as well. So I can say the close button on the left here in the close button section. There, the close button is on the left. Looks good. All right, so that's it for the double reveal menu. It's a really nice menu. It could add a lot of interest to your website and just make it really fun for users to navigate through your website. So I'll go ahead and close all these tabs here. So to access this widget, you simply go to museforyoushop.com, and here you can click on the pop-up, and here you can click subscribe to get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. Or if you'd like to subscribe with PayPal, you can click here and subscribe with PayPal. The double reveal menu widget is right here, and here you can click add to cart to purchase individually, or again, you can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. Here are the features included, a few of the widget options, and the preview page as well to see the menu. We have it there. And the community section if you had any questions about the widget. And this video will be below the preview button as well once it's finished. Okay, so that's it for this video tutorial. Again, I do this to help you build awesome websites without code. If you like this video tutorial, you can subscribe below. Also in the show more section below are links to other resources and links to museforyoushop.com. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial. Thank you.